The morning light streamed through the blinds, painting golden stripes across the messy bed. Olivia Carter groaned softly, her head pounding from last night's drinks. She shifted under the covers, the warmth of another body beside her making her stomach drop.
No.
No, no, no. This is not happening. Slowly, carefully, Olivia turned her head. And there she was. Sloane Monroe, her high school bully. The woman who had spent years making her life miserable. Eye rolls, sharp words, casual humiliation in the hallways. And now she was lying beside Olivia, half covered by the blanket, her dark hair sprawled across the pillow, her arm draped loosely over Olivia's waist like they had spent the night wrapped around each other. Olivia's breath hitched.
Oh.
This is bad. Her memories of last night were fuzzy, but not gone. She remembered running into Sloane at the bar. Remembered their usual biting remarks, the heated glares, the way Sloane had smirked at her like she was a challenge. And then came the shots, the tension, the way their usual verbal sparring had shifted into something else. And now they were here. Olivia needed to get out.
Fast.
But just as she started to slide out of bed, Sloane stirred. Olivia froze. Sloane stretched lazily before blinking, her dark eyes open, a slow, sleepy smile curling on her lips. Morning, sweetheart. Olivia nearly choked. Sweetheart. Sloane never called her that. In fact, Sloane had spent most of their lives calling her names that weren't remotely sweet. What the? Olivia started, scrambling to sit up, but Sloane grabbed her wrist with ease, her grip firm yet relaxed. Relax, Sloane murmured, smirking. No need to run. Unless you're scared. Olivia's entire body ignited at the taunt. This wasn't happening. I need to go, Olivia stammered, forcing herself out of bed and reaching for her clothes. Sloane propped herself up on one elbow, watching Olivia with that infuriatingly amused expression. Come on. Last night, you didn't seem so eager to leave. Olivia's hands shook as she zipped up her jeans. That was a mistake. Sloane raised an eyebrow, sitting up now, completely unbothered by her lack of clothing. A mistake? Yes, Olivia snapped, her heart pounding. It meant nothing. For a moment, Sloane just stared at her, unreadable. Then she grinned. Funny, Sloane said, tilting her head. Because to me, it meant everything. Olivia's stomach dropped.
No.
No, no, no. Sloane Monroe did not just say that. And yet, there was something different in her eyes. Something real. Something that made Olivia realize she wasn't the only one who had woken up feeling different. Sloane wasn't just messing with her. Sloane was serious. And that terrified Olivia more than anything. Olivia stormed out of the apartment, heart racing, her brain desperately trying to process the disaster she had just woken up in.
Sloane
Monroe. The woman who used to make high school unbearable. The woman who thrived on making Olivia's life difficult. And now she was acting like last night meant something. That couldn't be real. If you enjoyed this content and want to support the channel in a special way, try clicking the thanks button below. It's the one with the heart and $sign icon. With super thanks, you can make a direct contribution to the channel, which helps me keep creating awesome videos for you. Now, let's continue the story. As Olivia power walked down the street, still slightly hungover and very much regretting everything, her phone buzzed. She hesitated before glancing at the screen. Sloane, you forgot your earrings, sweetheart. Face blowing a kiss. Olivia froze, her whole body heating up in frustration. Oh, so this is how it was going to be? She shoved her phone into her pocket, refusing to engage. Sloane was probably loving this, watching Olivia freak out while she sat back, cool and unbothered, like she always did.
No.
Olivia was not playing that game. She was moving on. Immediately. Or, at least, she tried to. For the next few days, Olivia did everything to erase Sloane from her mind. She buried herself in work. She went out with friends. She even tried to convince herself that the whole night was just a weird, alcohol-induced fever dream. And then Sloane showed up. It was Friday evening, and Olivia was at her usual coffee shop, laptop open, finally feeling like she was back in control of her life. Until a very familiar voice cut through her peace. Well, well. Look who's pretending I don't exist. Olivia froze, fingers tightening around her coffee cup. She didn't have to turn around. She already knew who it was. Sloane slid into the chair across from her, looking too relaxed, too smug, too Sloane. She was wearing a leather jacket over a fitted black t-shirt, dark jeans, and that infuriating smirk that Olivia had spent years hating. Olivia inhaled sharply. She is not attractive. She is not attractive. Sloane leaned in, her voice low. Ignoring me doesn't make last weekend disappear, you know? Olivia glared. What do you want? Sloane shrugged, as if she hadn't completely ambushed her. Just checking in on you. You left in such a rush. Thought maybe you needed some closure. Olivia rolled her eyes. Closure? It was a mistake, Sloane. Sloane tilted her head, studying her. Was it? Olivia clenched her jaw.
Yes.
Sloane exhaled, shaking her head. You keep saying that, but I don't think you believe it. Olivia opened her mouth to argue, but Sloane leaned in, too close, her voice dipping into something dangerous. You kiss me first. Olivia's stomach flipped. I was drunk, she shot back, but her voice wasn't nearly as firm as she wanted it to be. Sloane smirked. Drunk enough to lose your filter, but not drunk enough to forget what you wanted. Olivia felt the tension between them, thick and suffocating. She hated that Sloane knew exactly how to get under her skin, how to make her question everything. She needed to end this. So she straightened, hardened her voice, and said, whatever you think this is, it's not happening. You don't like me, Sloane. You never have. You just love messing with me. Something shifted in Sloane's expression, just for a second. It wasn't amusement anymore. It was something deeper. Something Olivia didn't want to name. Then, just as quickly, Sloane's smirk returned. But it didn't quite reach her eyes. All right, she said, standing up. If that's what you want. Olivia let out a breath of relief, until Sloane leaned down, brushing her lips dangerously close to Olivia's ear. But you should know something, Sloane murmured, her voice sending a shiver down Olivia's spine. Olivia swallowed hard. What? Sloane pulled back, eyes locked on hers. I do like you. And then she walked away, leaving Olivia in complete chaos. Olivia spent the entire weekend spiraling. Sloane's words kept playing in her head on an endless loop. I do like you. What was she supposed to do with that? Ignore it? Impossible. Forget about it? Laughable. Every time she closed her eyes, she could feel the way Sloane had leaned in, her breath warm against her skin, the certainty in her voice. Sloane Monroe did not lie. She teased, she provoked, she enjoyed messing with people, but she didn't say things she didn't mean. And that was the worst part. Because if Sloane really did like her, that meant Olivia had a much bigger problem than a one-time mistake. She had Sloane Monroe, in full pursuit mode. On Monday morning, Olivia tried to move on. She had work to do, an actual career to focus on. But the second she walked into her office, she froze.
Sloane.
Sitting on her desk, looking far too comfortable, twirling a pen between her fingers like she owned the place. Olivia's stomach dropped. What? How? Why are you here? Sloane grinned. Good morning to you too, sweetheart. Olivia marched over, lowering her voice so the whole office wouldn't hear her impending meltdown. Seriously, what are you doing here? Sloane tilted her head, as if she were genuinely surprised by the question. I was in the neighborhood. Olivia glared. You don't even know what neighborhood I work in. Sloane smirked. I do now. Olivia took a deep breath, willing herself not to lose it.
Sloane.
You can't just show up at my job. Why not? Sloane asked innocently. You've been ignoring my texts. Olivia folded her arms. Because there's nothing to talk about. Sloane laughed, shaking her head. Oh, Liv. You're cute when you lie to yourself. Olivia's eye twitched.
We are not doing this.
Sloane hopped off the desk, stepping closer, her voice dropping into something lower, softer, and far more dangerous. I don't know why you're running from this, Sloane murmured. But if you think I'm just going to forget what happened, you clearly don't know me at all. Olivia's breath caught. Sloane. Tell me you felt nothing, Sloane said, her gaze locked onto hers. Olivia froze. Because she couldn't. She wanted to. She wanted to say it had been nothing, a mistake, something that should be buried and forgotten. But the words wouldn't come, and Sloane knew it. Her lips curled into a knowing smirk. That's what I thought. Before Olivia could respond, Sloane leaned in, just close enough to make Olivia's pulse spike, but instead of kissing her, she simply whispered, "See you soon." And then, she walked out. Like, she hadn't just flipped Olivia's entire world upside down. Olivia had spent years convincing herself she was immune to Sloane Monroe. And now she was crumbling. Because Sloane wasn't backing down. She was everywhere. At Olivia's coffee shop in the mornings, ordering something ridiculous like a triple shot of whatever Olivia's having. At the gym, despite Olivia knowing Sloane had never worked out a day in her life. At her favorite bookstore, casually leaning against a shelf and flipping through a book like she hadn't just followed Olivia inside. Every time, Sloane acted like it was all coincidence. But Olivia knew better. She felt it, the deliberate way Sloane was closing in, slowly, patiently, waiting for Olivia to break first. And the worst part? It was working. Friday night, Olivia had plans. Real plans.
A date.
With a normal person. Someone who wasn't Sloane Monroe. Her name was Eva, and she was sweet, funny, and absolutely not an ex-bully turned relentless flirt. Olivia liked her. She should like her. So when she walked into the restaurant and saw Eva waiting at the bar, Olivia told herself that tonight was about moving on. She was going to have a nice dinner. She was going to talk about normal things. And she was going to forget all about Sloane. Until she heard a voice behind her. Cute dress, Carter. Olivia's blood ran cold. She turned slowly, already knowing what she was going to see.
Sloane.
Standing just a few feet away, dressed in all black, looking obnoxiously good, holding a drink like she belonged there. Olivia blinked. You have got to be kidding me. Sloane smirked, sipping her drink.
What?
Can a girl enjoy a nice dinner? Olivia's eye twitched. This is not a coincidence. Sloane took a step closer, her voice dropping. Who said it was? Olivia exhaled sharply, glancing at Eva, who was still waiting at the bar, oblivious to the absolute disaster unfolding behind her. I am on a date, Olivia hissed. Sloane's smirk faltered, just for a second. But then she shrugged. And Olivia clenched her fists. And you can't just show up and... Sloane leaned in, just close enough to tilt Olivia's world sideways. And what live? Distract you? Olivia's breath caught.
Because yes.
That was exactly what was happening. And Sloane knew it. She felt it in the way Olivia's body reacted to her proximity. In the way Olivia's pulse betrayed her. In the way Olivia's eyes darted to her lips for just a second too long. Sloane leaned in, voice barely above a whisper. If you really want me to leave, all you have to do is tell me. Olivia's heart pounded. This was it. Her chance. She could say it. She could end this. But the words wouldn't come. And Sloane? She was watching. Waiting. The seconds stretched between them, heavy, charged. Until finally, Olivia exhaled and did the only thing she could. She turned on her heel, walked straight past Eva, and out of the restaurant. Sloane didn't stop her. She didn't have to. Because Olivia already knew the truth. She had lost. And the only question left was, what was she going to do about it? Olivia didn't stop walking. She didn't look back. Didn't check to see if Sloane was following. Because she already knew that if she turned around, if she saw that smirk or that knowing look in Sloane's eyes, she'd lose what little control she had left. But the worst part? She had already lost. Because she wasn't running from Sloane. She was running from herself. By the time Olivia reached her apartment, her hands were shaking. She unlocked the door, stepped inside, and shut it behind her, pressing her back against the wood like it might somehow hold her together. Her thoughts were chaos. She had spent years despising Sloane Monroe, years resenting her, avoiding her, pretending like Sloane had never mattered.
And
Now Sloane was everywhere. In her thoughts, in her breath, in the way her skin still burned from being close to her. Olivia let out a sharp exhale. She needed to do something. She needed to fix this. But before she could figure out how, there was a knock at the door. She already knew who it was. She squeezed her eyes shut. No. Sloane's voice came through the door, soft but amused. I didn't say anything yet. Olivia clenched her fists. Go home, Sloane. There was a pause. And then the truth. I don't want to. Olivia's heart flipped. Because Sloane sounded different. Not teasing. Not cocky.
real.
And Olivia didn't know how to handle that. Sloane sighed on the other side of the door. Look, I could play this game forever, but I think we both know what's really going on here. Olivia swallowed hard. And what's that? There was a pause, just long enough to make her achingly aware of every second that passed. Then, Sloane's voice, gentler than ever. I care about you, Liv. Olivia's chest tightened.
No. No, no, no.
She had spent years believing that Sloane only existed to torment her, that she was just a game to her.
But now?
Now Sloane was standing at her door, telling her the one thing Olivia had never expected to hear. Olivia's throat tightened. You're lying. Sloane let out a short laugh. You wish I was. Silence. And then softer, rawer. I don't know when it changed, but it did. And I've been trying to get you to see it ever since. Olivia's chest ached. Because she felt it too. She had always felt it. But feeling it meant letting go. Letting go of the grudge. Of the history. Of the fear. And that was the scariest thing of all. Sloane sighed. If you really want me to go, just say it. And I'll walk away. A test. A challenge. One last chance for Olivia to pretend this wasn't real. She inhaled sharply, opening her mouth. But the words never came. Instead, she unlocked the door. And when she opened it, Sloane was standing there, hands in her jacket pockets. Watching her like Olivia was the only thing that had ever made her nervous. Olivia exhaled. Say it again, she whispered. Sloane frowned slightly. Say what? Olivia's voice was barely there. That you care about me. Sloane stepped closer. And then, without hesitation, I care about you, Liv. And that was it. That was the moment Olivia stopped running. She grabbed Sloane's jacket, pulled her inside, and kissed her so hard it knocked the breath from both of them. Sloane didn't hesitate. She kissed back with everything, like she had been waiting for this, dying for this, needing this just as much as Olivia had. Hands tangled in hair, lips moving in a way that felt like a confession, bodies pressing close like neither of them ever wanted to let go. By the time they pulled apart, Olivia's breathing was ragged, her forehead resting against Sloane's. Sloane grinned. So, does this mean I win? Olivia laughed, breathless and overwhelmed.
No.
It means I lose. Sloane tilted her head. And you're okay with that? Olivia smiled, finally letting herself have this. Yeah, she whispered. I think I am.